this fine morning, I'm going to speak very frankly and openly with you all, without mincing any of my words here today. I'm going to speak quite bluntly, and without any gloves on as well. I am truly going to get in the ring and box. Just remember, you have been warned about this. I think there are high expectations from people everywhere, in every region we visit. I can say that the needs are pretty much the same everywhere. We have practically the same situation in every region we go to. So this is to say that we are aware of the situation, we know the problem. As someone said, we know the illness, and everything we are doing today is to cure it. There is a lot to be done, and as I have always said, I can't solve everything with the snap of a finger. It's not possible. But we are making the efforts we can. We are making sacrifices so that we can achieve our goals as quickly as possible. And if we made the collective decision to finally embark on this mission, it's because we sincerely believed that it was absolutely essential for our people to experience true and lasting happiness as well. We keep saying it over and over again. We were born into conditions that were perhaps challenging and far from easy. As we grew up, we saw Burkina with our own eyes. And we also caught glimpses of other countries through international news broadcasts and various media reports. And maybe we traveled to some countries in the meantime and we saw the realities there. And we also asked ourselves questions. Why? Why can't our country also develop and prosper like those countries? As I said last time, there is no reason why in some countries that have just discovered maybe oil in less than 30 or 40 years, everything changes completely. But why is it that in Africa we are not able to do the same thing, even though beneath our soil there is oil and other types of minerals? Take the example of Dubai, which is nearby. 30 years ago, there were only 1 or 2 buildings in the city. Today, I am sure that many people here from the private sector enjoy taking a flight to Dubai to do business. They never miss the chance to make a short video to show off the beauty of the city. Buildings have sprung up everywhere, all over the place. All of this just because of oil exploitation. But how many countries in Africa exploit oil? Have they experienced this kind of development?
Welcome to the Vision Archive, where we explain important speeches, ideas, and events shaping Africa today. In today's video, we look at a powerful address about Burkina Faso, African independence, local production, national discipline, and the need for Africans to understand their history. Now, the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, argues that Africa has many natural resources but still depends heavily on foreign countries for food, technology, machines, and finished products. He also warns that foreign influence, poor leadership, division, and lack of confidence can stop African countries from moving forward. At several points, he speaks strongly about colonial history, religion, terrorism, imported goods, and the need for young people to think, create, and build. Some parts of the speech include serious claims and personal opinions, so they should be heard carefully and not accepted automatically as proven fact. The main message is that Burkina Faso and Africa must use their own resources, support local production, protect national unity, and work towards dignity and self-reliance. Now, please watch this clip closely and listen to what the president of Burkina Faso is saying. After the clips, we will come back for our commentary.
So there is a question we need to ask ourselves. Here in Burkina, we exploit gold and many other minerals, even though we haven't discovered oil yet. But what have we done? So I also came here so that we can ask ourselves questions, and the real ones today. Not just as a Burkinabe, but as an African. Let us ask ourselves questions, and the right questions. And to be a nation, we need discipline. As I said, we need selflessness. We need to have a goal to focus on. And that's what we're going to discuss at length. If we don't have a goal, we'll wander aimlessly and won't know where we're going. And if we also don't know where we come from, we have no reference points. It's like someone in the middle of a desert with no landmarks. He doesn't know where to go, he doesn't know what to do. No, we need to have reference points. And to have reference points, we need to go back and question history, and we must not hide any part of our history. And we should also make sure that Stockholm Syndrome does not become a common illness among all Africans. You've likely heard of Stockholm Syndrome. It is a psychological condition where the person who actively harms you ends up being deeply loved, cherished, and fiercely protected by you in the end. You understand? That is to say, the aggressor, the one who harms you, who undermines you, you end up even loving him, defending him, protecting him. Many people are affected by this Stockholm Syndrome, whether it's here in Burkina or in Africa in general, because Africa has suffered a lot, and people have tried to erase Africa's history. And many people don't even know the history of Africa. Yet we must not remain ignorant. We need to know our history in order to know where we are going. Africa was not always like this. Let's acknowledge that. I told you once, if our ancestors in our bushlands as we walk around, we see that the ancestors were able to take the earth and extract iron from it. But why is it that today we can't do it? It's because we've lost something along the way. And what have we lost? How did we lose it? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Once we ask ourselves these questions and find the answers, we are cured of our illness, the Stockholm Syndrome. And these questions, we must ask them bravely and face them head on. And as I said, we are not politicians. We don't avoid problems. We face problems and solve them. We don't just move them elsewhere. There are many topics in our societies that we want to address. These taboos, these things. As soon as the police say, if you mess around, you're going to lose your electoral base, we're going to address this topic, we're going to tell the truth. And then, if you like it, that's how it is. If you don't like it, that's how it is too. But this is our story. And we need to remember our story, where we come from, what was done to us that made us this way. This is a big rant that I'm going to deliver to all black people, if I can put it that way. Our enemies are among us. And that brings me to give you a general piece of advice. You see, we're in a revolution, and we've chosen a path. And people need to stay focused. A lot of people say they're focused, that they're revolutionaries. But it's still you who go and follow those stateless people's pages and believe what they're saying. And you get worked up, you worry. And you end up in states of, why? Stay focused. I've heard a lot of noise lately and everything. And again, you yourselves, you contribute to creating maybe even problems without realizing it. You see,
what is happening in this video is a call for Africans to change how they think about development. Now, leadership and independence as well. The speaker, Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, says a country cannot grow if its people ignore history, waste resources, depend on imports, or allow religion and ethnicity to divide them. He uses Burkina Faso as an example and says the government wants to improve farming, water supply, roads, industries, education, and national security. Now, he encourages people to consume locally made products so money can support farmers, workers, and businesses at home. Why does Africa remain poor despite having gold, oil, land, and other resources? His answer is that resources alone are not enough. Countries need discipline, they need knowledge, they need technology, they need honest leadership, and citizens who put the public interest before personal gain. Can local production reduce foreign dependence? Yes, it can help, but it requires skills, investment, strong institutions, and time. The speech also contains claims about foreign interference and harmful products that need independence evidence before they are treated as fact. Now, do you agree that Africa's greatest challenge is dependence, or do you think leadership is the biggest problem? Share your thoughts below. Now, let's continue watching what Ibrahim Traoré has to say, and then we'll still come back for commentary. Let's watch.
You see, we launched a diaspora operation, however. Often we carry out these operations to test the reliability of our state. Do people invest in our country or not? You can see that we got more than we wanted. And it's during this period that all the communications like, oh, things aren't going well in Burkina, we're being attacked here, things aren't right at the top of the state, they're doing this, they're doing that, and a lot of people are worried, they're calling us about all sorts of things. I'm going to tell you one thing, and let this be clear in everyone's mind. The context we're living in now is not the same as in 1987. Everyone who works with me knows my code of conduct. I have a mission. And they all follow the mission. That's why we're here. And if someone messes up, I'll deal with you without hesitation. There's no point in saying, oh, it's just him alone. There are no strongmen, there aren't any, and I'm coming back to you again. The business operators who often say you have to go negotiate with someone because he's strong, there are no strongmen with me. No, stop that. Because it's you who put these ideas into some people's heads, and people can really start to believe they're strong. If you step out of line, if you display anti-revolutionary behavior, I will punish you immediately. Everyone should have enough to eat, as the person in charge of the elderly said. I'm very happy to hear that we are eating in the present tense and the indicative. That's something to be proud of. But we used to spend our time ordering, people would come and give us food, that's how it was. Lately, many countries have been coming to us for their humanitarian aid. I say, but wait, what's going on? Your humanitarian aid comes in and goes out here. We have our dignity to defend. There are things we no longer accept. Go ahead, give it somewhere else. We don't need your aid. There's none of that here. So that means they have other motives. It's not really about aid. It's like someone said, if you want to help a father because his children aren't doing well, why would you come? And then you don't give the father the discretion to handle the aid. You want to go give it directly to the children, saying the fathers are useless. That's what you mean. That doesn't work. Our culture doesn't accept that. So they've used many channels to enslave us. I'm talking about NGOs. Infiltration into our habits through many channels. We will not accept it. Because every single bit of this strategy is to keep us down and to more effectively plunder our valuable resources. It's time for all of us to understand that our resources should be used so that everyone can have access to clean drinking water. You mentioned water problems. But should we keep encouraging those who drink champagne at the expense of everyone else just to have clean drinking water? We cannot accept that. But very often what happens? When we ourselves fight against those who have champagne so that everyone can have clean drinking water, the one with champagne pays the one who doesn't have water to drink, to sing instead of standing up against you. And you accept it too. Bihuan, has this happened or not? Hey, let's pull ourselves together. There have been problems in Wayuya for years, but they're going to be resolved right away. In any case, I was the Prime Minister who launched the construction work last time. I passed by this morning and saw the pipes coming in force to Wayuya. There's a dam that needs to be built, and that's what's going to help supply all of Wayuya. So the problem in Wayuya will be resolved soon. I won't have water problems anymore. The years spent with yellow jerry cans, as you said, are over. God willing, it will end. All of this is the meaning of our struggle. It's about dignity. We don't want our mothers to have to sleep in front of wells. It's exhausting at impossible hours just to fetch a jerry can of water to feed the family. Come on, we're rich, we need dignity. And wealth must be shared, and this is what sharing wealth looks like. And that also brings me to a bit of a rant. Some people who are here today.
Now, we hope you have now seen exactly what is happening in this video. The speaker is asking Burkina citizens, that's Ibrahim Traoré, right? He is actually asking Burkina citizens and Africans to believe in their ability to produce, invent, govern, and solve their own problems. He says political freedom means little when a country still depends on outsiders for goods, technology, food, machines, and ideas. He warns that religious extremism, ethnic division, corruption, selfish interest, and foreign manipulation can weaken national unity. His strongest message is directed at young people. He wants them to study, think, create, copy useful technology when necessary, and develop solutions that fit Africans' needs. However, strong speeches must still be examined carefully. Emotional language can inspire people, but serious historic, medical, political, or security claims need reliable evidence. Africa's development would not come from anger alone. It requires education, accountability, leadership, peaceful cooperation, investment, research, local industries, and respect for every human life. The wider question is whether African countries can turn speeches about sovereignty into practical improvements that citizens can see in their homes and community. Thank you for watching. Oh yes, thank you so much for watching the Vision Archive. Please, if you are coming in for the very first time, do well to subscribe, and I really need your opinion at the comment section. So all these that Ibrahim Traoré has said, what do you have to say about it? Let me get your opinion at the comment section. I do agree with Ibrahim Traoré. Yes, I do agree with Ibrahim Traoré. If we keep on depending on other countries, we will never have our own. So let us try to support, especially now. There is something, even for those that are struggling to produce some things locally, some citizens do not still want to support them. Yeah, they will rather buy from outsiders. So I feel like we should try to support our own. If they put in that effort to create things that outsiders do, or things we depend on, we should do well to create our own, to support our own. Yeah, as far as I'm putting in that effort. Okay, let me get your opinion at the comment section. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.